It's Victoria from Taiwan Rotary, and I'm standing here with Suas, who just got recognized by the World Economic Forum, being chosen as the Young Global Leader.
Yeah,
right?
it's a global leader. Yeah.
So, how does it come? What have you done to become even the youngest of these?
In global leader, yeah. I started my company at the age of 14, and now I'm 22 now, and it's almost been the 8 years since I've been into business, and yeah, it feels
Well,
very.
you say it so easily, but starting a business with 13, come on, how does it come? Are you so crazy to do that?
In fact, I was very inspired when I started very young. Like I was very motivated by the success path of the founder of Microsoft, Mr. Bill Gates, and I wanted to start my own company. So the ultimate
How
vision.
how did you hit up on that story? Did you saw it on television or?
I saw it on the internet, and at the same time, I was really inspired by his success path, and I always wanted to offer employment to these eligible unemployed youth all over the world. And I think offering employment to somebody else was my ultimate motive when I started the company.
Okay, so is it that cultural background from India which also influenced you in that way?
Yeah, of course, it is also the cultural background, and it's also the support and my family's background and the values that my family insisted on me. So I think it really helped me to have such a vision.
Yeah. So let's now know what you're really doing.
No, at the moment I'm starting my second company, and which should also be in Germany. Now our company now is focused on Web 2.0 solutions. So we've been building applications on Web 2.0 platform, and at the same time we have our own in-house product called EducationERP.net, where we automate schools and education institutions. And so it is the first ERP which is only focused on the education sector, and yeah, it's quite been successful for us. And in the pipeline we also have a few internet-based ventures that would work with exhibitions and we are also launching a social web-based operating system very soon. Yeah.
So you're quite hyperactive, right?
Yeah, of course, right, sure.
Okay, founding an own business so young as you did, where does your knowledge come from? Did you know how to found a business?
It was through the experience of other successful entrepreneurs. So I always learned from the failures and mistakes of other entrepreneurs. And
so you use the internet to get information about the other entrepreneurs? Or?
Yes, it's through the internet. It's also through the books that they authored by themselves.
Biographies.
So, yeah. So I looked into the autobiographies of these entrepreneurs, and I think it was an instrument for me to see that, okay, in case if I face a situation similar to other entrepreneurs, I know how to handle it, and I felt mentally very strong. And in my case, I hail from a non-business family, so my family had no experience in running a business. It used to be initially hard, but yeah, finally I was able to manage.
How did they deal with that? Did they support you, or?
Yeah, of course, they did not support me initially because they were very afraid of the fact that I'll spoil my.
I'm a teenager.
Yeah, so I'll spoil my school life or my academics. So they were quite skeptical of me starting a company initially, but yeah, so it went on, and it was quite easy for me to start it.
Okay. And well, which other kind of problems or challenges did you have to face being such a young entrepreneur?
Sometimes I'm not. Whenever I attend some meetings or I attend CEO seminars, they feel that I'm impersonating someone else as CEO. They don't accept me as a CEO of the company because they think that I'm too young to be a CEO. And at the same time, yeah, it's quite been hard for me to like I should show myself that I'm the CEO of the company, and the acceptability factor. Sometimes I was not allowed to sign on the agreements. When I started my company at the age of 14, I had few orders when I was like 17 years, and when I had to sign the agreement, they told you're too young to sign on agreement paper, so we cannot outsource the projects to you. So it used to be hard initially.
Yeah. And the story is also that you had to move to the US to really be able to found the company, right?
In India, you need to pay 18 years to start a company, so it is one of the main reasons why we started it in the United States. Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. So you've seen a lot around the world already. What has been most impressing thing during your entrepreneurial time? What experience was the most surprising one, maybe also?
Maybe one of the very interesting one of the very memorable moments of my entrepreneurial story could be that um, the marketing strategy where we adopted and where we were able to scale up our sales. Like all those American companies which did not have a website, we went out to them and I opened up anonymous email accounts and I started to send them an email that okay, I'm impressed to import your automobile spare part product, but are you having a website on your own and things? But they did not. So they responded indicating they did not have a website. So I sent an email after a week indicating that if they need a website in my own name, and yeah, so it was the backdoor entry strategy which I did, and yeah, it was quite successful for us to increase our sales. So it was one of my unforgettable moments in my entrepreneurial journey.
So that was also a big success factor, right?
Yes, it was certainly a very big success factor for us.
So would you also recommend for others to be out of the way, to be different, to try out new ways?
Yeah, of course. As an entrepreneur, it's like an adventure. So you cannot have this normal path. So you really should explore new paths. You really should explore new strategies. And at the same time, the sustainability and the assertiveness should be there. So when you start a company, we have to make sure that your company has a long vision. It is able to sustain on its own, and it has a strong business model in where they are able to monetize they should be able to monetize their ideas, which is very important.
Does that mean that you never got the help of business angels or VCs?
In my case, I did not have. It's a self-funded company, fortunately. But of course, I think now at the moment, because for many of the ideas, if any entrepreneurs required, they can certainly approach the business angels or the VCs. And yeah, at the end of the day, after they set up any enterprise, it really should have a strong business model where with ideas, they should be able to monetize their ideas on its own.
Okay. And beside that, which other hint would you give for starters?
I would say them that never to accept no in their life. So irrespective of any obstacles or setbacks that they face, they should be very focused. So at the same time, they should make sure that they focus the vision of their organization or their startup should never be misaligned. And at the same time, I think as indicated in my life, I never was able to accept if anybody says no to me, I never could accept it. So I think it should be the same attitude with other upcoming entrepreneurs as well.
Good. And last but not least, give us some funny story, maybe that professor story you mentioned in your talk.
Like a few months back when I had a shortage of my attendance because I got into the World Economic Forum, I had a shortage of my attendance and I was not allowed to write my examination in the university. So I had to meet my professor, and so my professor was in his mid-30s, and he told okay he'll help me with my attendance and he'll help me in sorting out the examination. But when I met him, he told that he wants to apply for the job in my own company. So
that's funny, your professor first stressing you out because you're not attending correctly to the lessons, and when he comes up to you and asking for a job.
Yeah, of course, it suddenly was very surprising and shocking for me, and I think it is the last thing that you would expect where your own professors apply for employment in your company.
It's
so
a huge compliment.
Yeah. Sure. So yeah, I didn't know how to react, but I was able to manage somehow.
So you're still working on your university degree?
Yes, at the moment from the World Economic Forum, I would be studying in the Harvard University for a special executive program there, and I've informally already opted out from my university because it used to be very hard for me to finish, and like I had a shortage of attendance, so it used to be very hard for me to manage between my academics and professional life.
Did you also already write an autobiography?
I think that we still have a very long way to go. I'm still 22, and I think when I'm in my 50s, when our company would be still more larger, I think I would be in a stage to write my own autobiography.
Okay, so there's no other chance to learn about that guy than just watching that video, of course, and maybe getting in touch with him through his email, maybe?
Sure. My email address is suhas@globalsinc.com.
Okay, so thank you very much for your story.
Thank you.